Hello students, welcome back to our Human Anatomy and Physiology classes. Till now we have completed the two chapters, that is digestion and absorption and breathing and exchange of gases. So in this two chapter we understood how the digestion takes place and what is the important role of digestive system. We have seen that digestive system digests foodstuffs into absorbable form, and human respiratory system also we have studied, and we have seen how the respiration takes place and what is the main function of a respiratory system. In this two chapter we understood that every system is interlinked. Digestive system has to perform its function to provide the fuel in the form of nutrient, and respiratory system, it has to perform its function to oxidize the food. Whatever the food that has been digested by the digestive system, this nutrient has to be undergo oxidation to provide the energy. So every system has got its importance and are interconnected. And the third important system that today we are going to start is a circulatory system. That means under the chapter, the next chapter in the NCERT, as body fluids and its circulation. Body fluids and its circulation. So in this class, we will try to understand the overview of what body fluids is and its circulation. See, here when we say body fluids, we can clearly understand that it is of blood. Generally, we think blood, but it is not like that. Here, along with the blood, other fluids like lymph and these two are the major fluids, and its circulation we are going to study in detail. But further, we will try to understand what actually the body fluids is. Before that, first we will see what are the why this circulatory system should be there. Because this circulatory system will act as a vehicle. In the circulatory system, the fluid here circulate is blood, and blood will be acting as a vehicle to transport different substance. The major function of circulatory system, we will see what are the major function of circulatory system. Major function of circulatory system. See, the first function here we can take, transportation. Transportation of respiratory gases. Respiratory gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide. We understood in detail in our earlier chapter. The next function here is transportation of nutrients. The next major function is the transportation of nutrients. The nutrients may be like monosaccharides, or we can say it's a glucose or monosaccharides, then amino acids, then fatty acids. fatty acids along with minerals and vitamins. So transportation of the nutrients. Then protective in function. Protective in function. In what way it will protect? By providing here, clotting of blood. Clotting of blood. Then that means whenever there, if any bleeding takes place, injury takes place, blood will has to be stopped. Otherwise, what will happen? The whole blood in our body will ooze out. So it's a mechanism, blood clotting mechanism we'll discuss in detail, but protective in function. Then here under protective in function, even you can take defense. That means here WBC will be acting as a macrophages. They are the macrophages to engulf the foreign particle and keeping free from the infection. Protective in function. Then here hormonal. So here you can add nutrients plus. Okay, I will add here hormonal function. Hormonal transportation. That means therefore we can say it transports a hormone. Therefore we can say it's a what you call a third integrating. It forms a third integrating system. Why? Because it transports the hormone. Transport hormones from its origin to the target organs or tissues. Such an important role played by the circulatory system here. Even you can take, like, apart from this, collection of nitrogenous waste. So we can say excretory in function. That means excretory product will be collected from the liver. Here urea is produced in the liver, and this will be collected from the through the blood, and it will be handed over to the kidneys to eliminate. So collection of nitrogenous waste and other metabolites. So these are the very important functions of the circulatory system. Therefore, here the blood has got a very important this fluid, blood is a major fluid here, will be acting as a vehicle to transport. So overall we can say transportation, and if once you look at all these functions, here you find one important keyword, that is the transportation of the respiratory gases, transportation of the nutrients from the digestive system, and it will be distributing. This nutrient will be distributing to all the cells, because we know that all cells require a continuous supply of oxygen and nutrients. Oxygen will be supplied by the respiratory system through the exchange of gases. That means from the lungs to blood distribute the oxygen to all the tissues of the body, to all the cells, because cells continuously require two important requirement here for the cells. One is a continuous supply of oxygen, second is nutrient. Why? For the energy purpose. And whatever the metabolic waste that is released by the cells like carbon dioxide and other metabolites will be collected once again from by the blood, and it will be once again hand over to the different organs for its elimination. So hormonal system, because we know that endocrine system, we are going to talk in detail. In endocrine system, where the ductless, it's a in endocrine system, different hormones will be produced by the endocrine glands, ductless glands, and these hormones will be poured directly into the blood. That means the hormones will be transported through the blood, and it shows its effects on the targeted tissue or targeted cells or targeted organs. And this is how these are the, first of all, we try to understand how important this circulatory system here is. And we'll see in the kingdom Animalia. That means here you find that depending on the type of the animals, like simple forms to the more complex forms of organism, a different method of circulatory system you can see, depending upon their complexity. Now we'll discuss what are the different types of circulatory system that you find in the animals. See, before we discussed about the different types of here circulatory system in the different animals, you can add one more point here under the functions of circulatory system. One important point I missed to tell you there. You can add here one more point, that is regulatory regulation. Even circulatory system made the regulation. Regulation of what? Regulation of pH of the body fluids and temperature. Because we know that liver is a very important organ, is a thermogenic organ to produce the heat. That heat will be transported through the blood. And as far as human being, mammals and birds are concerned, we are the homeothermic. We need to maintain our body temperature constant, irrespective of the surroundings. Therefore, blood is also plays an important role in keeping the body warm. This is nothing but maintenance of or regulation of the temperature could be maintained by the circulatory system. Then we'll discuss here what are the different here in case of like sponges. For example, you take sponges. In sponges, here the circulatory system, you don't find this is a what you call cellular level of organization here. So you don't find any tissue. Once you take the sponges here, in sponges you find here the water enters through the ostia. Water enters and water comes out through the osculum. So here you find that water that means through in the spongocoel. Here this is a spongocoel. In the spongocoel, it serves the purpose of circulation. Here you don't find any blood or nothing like that. Here water circulate, so it serves the purpose of circulation. By doing this, what will it will take care of like respiration process as well as excretion. This circulation of water will serve the purpose of respiration and excretion. That means here water and when water moves inside, even here oxygen get dissolved. Oxygen will be consumed by the cells. That means water brings dissolved oxygen inside the spongocoel, and the cells will be utilized this oxygen. Say it serves the purpose of respiration as well as excretion also. Excretion means whatever the metabolites that are released by the cells, these metabolites also come out through the osculum. So here water circulation of water will serve the purpose of circulatory system. Here actually is not a system, but otherwise sponges are very simple organism. Their body very simple, they don't require a system, but otherwise here water itself will serve the purpose in circulating the in distributing the oxygen and what you call eliminating the waste also through the osculum. It comes out through the osculum in case of sponges. In case of coelentrates. In coelentrates, here you find the gastrovascular cavity. Gastrovascular cavity. Here in sponges, this circulation of water seen in the sponges. Here in the gastrovascular cavity, same method. A gastrovascular cavity, that means it has got only one opening. Through that opening, water enters and water exit. That means this water circulate in the gastrovascular cavity. Again, it serves the purpose of respiration as well as excretion. Here also it serves the purpose of respiration as well as excretion. Gastrovascular cavity. Here water circulate, and here what you call elimination of waste will come out through the one opening only. That is in case of sponges and coelentrates. In case of planaria, that means in platyhelminthes. In platyhelminthes, you find here, particularly why I used planaria, they are the free living turbellarians. This is one class in platyhelminthes where planaria is free living. Here also you can find the gastrovascular cavity. Gastrovascular cavity which serve the purpose of circulation. Here the circulation can be seen. In planaria. And in case of annelids, that is in earthworm. In earthworm, you find here a well-defined circulatory system. Here, a circulatory system, a closed type of circulatory system from earthworm. That means from annelid onwards, you find circulatory system in the kingdom Animalia is well developed. A closed type of circulatory system. And again, in here it's a closed type. We'll discuss the differences between the closed type and open type circulatory system. And in arthropoda, that is in, for example, if you take insects, in insects, it is of circulatory system you find, but it is of open type. We'll try to understand what is this closed type of circulatory and open type of circulatory system. And here from that is in vertebrates. In vertebrates and higher level of, that is in higher level of organism, in vertebrates you find the closed type of circulatory system. Now we'll discuss the differences between the closed type of open type circulatory system and closed type of circulatory system. See, open type of circulatory system and closed type of circulatory system. What actually it means? We know that for the circulatory system, here the circulatory fluid has to be pumped by an important organ called as heart. Here heart you find, this heart will pump the blood through the blood vessels. Heart will pump the blood through the blood vessels, and these blood vessels, from blood vessels you can see that blood comes out in the sinus. In the sinus, otherwise we call this as a cavity or hemocoel in the body cavity. And from here once again it goes back to the blood vessels, and from blood vessels then the blood reaches to the heart. So this type of circulatory system we call as a open type. This is an open type. Open type of circulation. Why? The content of the blood comes out into the space and it goes back to the heart. That means here the heart is here less efficient. Heart is less efficient. Why? There is the circulatory fluid is not closed. Here the blood vessels, from the blood vessels blood comes out. Therefore heart will not develop the much pressure. Therefore here the blood pressure is less. Here the blood pressure is less and heart is less efficient. If once you see the closed type of circulatory system, here heart pumps the blood to the aorta. From the aorta it goes to the arteries, and arteries divide and redivide to form arterioles. From then these arterioles give rise to a microscopic blood vessels which we call as a blood capillaries. Blood capillaries. From the blood capillaries, that means these blood capillaries once again merge to form venules, and venules this merge to become veins, and these veins becomes vena cava, larger blood vessel. Aorta is the largest blood vessel. Vena cava. From vena cava once again the blood will be reaching to the heart. So this is a closed type. Difference between the open type circulatory system and closed type circulatory system. But one thing you must remember here, the content of the blood, that means here except RBC and what you call platelets and certain large proteins, they never come out from the blood vessels. But other content for the exchange purpose, it diffuses out from the blood capillaries. Here exchange of materials takes place at this level, tissue with that of blood capillaries, such as respiratory gases, even nutrients, all these whatever the materials, the substances that are required to the tissues, the exchange takes place in between the blood capillaries and the tissues. So blood carries, so that is the reason we say that the main purpose of circulatory system is a transportation. Here the blood will act as a transport vehicle to transport whatever the substances required by to the tissues, and from the tissues once again here it collects and distribute to the different parts of the body for its elimination. So you can see here the closed type of circulatory system, in which the content, the important content such as RBC, platelets and large proteins will never come out here. It will be circulated only in the blood vessels. Therefore, this closed type of circulatory system, here the heart is more efficient to pump. Heart is more efficient to pump, and usually maintains blood pressure. Here your blood pressure is less. Here the blood pressure is high. High means we are comparing with that of closed type of circulatory system. That means maintains the blood pressure. In case of human being, the normal blood pressure is 120 by. See, again, don't get confused. Here the blood pressure maintains. Instead of high, I use the word the blood pressure here maintains, like 120 by 80 in case of human being. So you can differentiate the open and the closed type of circulatory system. Then we'll talk about regarding the blood. What actually the blood in detail is a very important topic here, because human anatomy and physiology, we are trying to know about our body. Okay, therefore we'll discuss here what are the other topics here, like we need to discuss in detail about the blood. What are the different animals, what are the different types of blood you can come across, that we'll see here. Even now you can see, by looking at the different animal circulatory system, you can understand how the evolution might have taken place in terms of circulatory system. You can see a simple organism we have seen, from sponges to the chordates. There is a gradual development in the circulatory system with respect to the heart. So we don't talk anything about the heart from the lower level of organ. Only the water will serve the purpose. So the water will be pumped into the cavities, and the circulation purpose will be served here. But in a higher level of invertebrates, earthworm, where the circulatory system, we say that closed type of circulatory system. And in arthropoda, it's open type. But when it comes to the mollusca, again you find there is a open type only circulatory system, except in cephalopods. In cephalopod, closed type of circulatory system, like in octopus, example. But when it comes to the vertebrates, you can see there is a gradual development in the structure of heart also. In case of fishes, you find the heart is two-chamber heart. One is atrium, another is a ventricle. From fishes, in vertebrates, from fishes onwards, you can find there is a gradual development of the heart. In amphibians, it is of a three-chambered heart, two atrium and one ventricle. And when it comes to the reptiles, you find incompletely divided ventricle. That means here, except in crocodile, where you find the perfectly four-chamber heart. When it reaches to mammals and birds, you find a well-defined four-chamber heart here. Here also you can see a gradual development. When it comes to the blood, we'll see what are the blood color here. So generally, blood means we'll be thinking that blood color is red color. Why it is red color? It is due to the hemoglobin. In the hemoglobin, what is the component that impart the red color means it's the iron. Because of the iron in the hemoglobin, the color of the blood is red. But otherwise, in other animals, you find different colors of bloods. Here, the blood color. See, the blood here, you find the color of the blood red blood. What is a major component here? Why the blood look like red means it is because of hemoglobin. Example, you can take vertebrates. Vertebrates including example you will take including human being. In invertebrates, that is earthworm. But here this hemoglobin is dissolved in plasma, whereas the hemoglobin is present in RBC in case of vertebrates. But in invertebrates like earthworm, hemoglobin you find dissolved in the plasma. Then this is red color. Even blue color. Okay, let me write blue. Blue color blood. See, the color of blood is here blue. Blue color blood. Why this blue color blood? It is due to the presence of Hemocyanin. Hemocyanin. We know that hemocyanin is a copper. It's a copper containing pigment. Whereas hemoglobin, in hemoglobin you find it is a hemoglobin. It's iron containing pigment. It is in the form of Fe2 plus ferrous form. So you take an example here. Where do you find this hemocyanin? Hemocyanin you find in crustaceans. You find in crustaceans. Then in mollusca, such as squids. In mollusca you find in squids. Even you find hemocyanin in spiders. Spiders, that is in arthropoda, or in which class? Arachnida. Arachnida of arthropoda. Arachnida is a class of phylum arthropoda. Spiders. So you find the hemocyanin, copper containing pigment. That's the reason bluish appearance, hemocyanin. So what other colors you find? Blood. Even you find the color of blood here is green also. Green color blood. Green color blood. Where you find green color blood? Here, what is the component that you find? Chlorocreorine. Chlorocreorine. This example you take here in leeches and some marine worms. And in some marine worms, chlorocreorine is the pigment. Because of this pigment, color of the blood is green in color. So now you see blood, you find red color, blue color, green color. Is there any more color that you come across? The color of the blood? Yes. Yes, you can take here violet color also. Violet color blood. Violet color blood is due to the presence of a pigment called as hemerythrin or hemoerythrin. And this hemoerythrin, where you find? You find in peanut worms and some marine worms. Peanut worms and some marine worms, you find hemoerythrin, violet color. So in the different animals, including human being, you find the color of the blood is due to what you call the pigments here. One interesting point I would like to inform to you that there is a horseshoe crab. There is a horseshoe crab. From this horseshoe crab, a substance is released, extracted in a very large quantity. I will show the slides to you. You see that it's very interesting to note that this coagulagen can trace a very very little quantity of bacteria also will be traced by the coagulagen, and it will be trapped in inescapable clot. That means if the any type of bacteria will be detected with the help of this coagulagen. Why? Because what is its importance means this chemical we can be used in detecting any bacteria, or in detecting the bacteria that causes various diseases. A very trace amount. That means 1 part in what we call not billion in trillion. That means generally we take the concentration part per million or part per billion. Here part per trillion. That means very trace minute quantity. Even a smallest bacteria can be identified or detected with the help of this coagulagen. Here, go through the slides, you will understand how important this coagulagen is. So these are the various colors of the blood that you find in the different animals. You can say this is coagulagen. Okay, then even you can add some more examples here in mollusca, squids, and octopus. Here you can add brachiopods. So these are the various types of blood that you come across. Now we'll discuss about what you call what actually the body fluids, to which body fluids in real sense we call as a body fluids, and what are its percentage. What are the percentage of body fluids with respect to the body weight? There we'll see that topic. See, body fluids means, in what way you say body fluid? Body fluids are the fluid that circulate in the circulatory system. That's what we understood, no? But in real sense, it is not only that body fluids. Here the body fluids, now I can categorize in this way. See, generally the body fluids we may be considering these body fluids like, if once you take the infants, here the body fluids will be, in case of infants, the body fluids will, what is the percentage means 80%. In case of adult man, the body fluids here, it comes to 60%. 60% of body weight. So 80% of body weight in case of infants. In adult man, average healthy man will take average healthy man weight 70 kgs for the calculation purpose. So adult man 60% of body weight. And in case of females, it is of 50% of body weight. These are some values that you need to remember. Body fluids. See here, the body fluids generally we take body fluids, we say 60% of body weight. And as we know that blood approximately it is of 5 liters, in between 5 to 6 liters or 5.5 liters. Now we will see here what this body fluids percentage here. See, generally we take into consideration You once see our body is made up of cells, and is generally in cytology you must have studied that. So 60 to 70% of the cell contains water. Water is a very important, is a solvent, universal solvent, because cells contains water, and water will be acting as a medium here to dissolve the various substances, and it will be a medium for the it will be acting as a medium for the metabolism. So many metabolism takes place in the cells, in the cytoplasms. Here water has got a very important role in maintaining the the integrity of the cell and the whole body. Body fluids will take that means the water that is present inside the cell, we say intracellular fluid. Intracellular fluid. The intracellular fluid, then in outside the cells we call this as a extracellular fluid. Extracellular fluid. Otherwise, we use another term here, interstitial fluid. Interstitial fluid. This comes to say about 40%, and this is 15%, 40%. This is of 15%, and the remaining fluid, that means we take blood. What is this body fluids means? Here blood, generally the major fluid we consider as a blood, but otherwise even you have to consider intracellular fluid and extracellular fluid also. Here, okay, let's take blood plus other fluid, what we call lymph. Blood and lymph will be contributing to 5% only. 5%. Then how much it comes? Total it comes 60%. 60% of body weight. This will be the body fluids. 15% extracellular fluid. That means the fluid that is present outside the cell. A group of cells, this form the microenvironment outside the cells. And blood, of course, we have to discuss in detail. We'll discuss in detail about the blood and its components. Very important topic, and already this topic has been covered under the structural organization. But it is once again we'll recall faster what are the components of the blood and lymph. But otherwise, you have to remember these are the basic information as far as the body fluids are concerned. Intracellular fluid, extracellular fluid, and blood and lymph. 60% of the body weight. Hope you understand this concept here. So, being an introduction class on these body fluids and circulation, just I want to tell you the overview and importance of its the importance of this topic. See here. The body fluids, in case of like here, now we understand the body fluids is nothing but it is put together all the that means the fluid that are present in our body, we put together, we call as a body fluids. But more importantly, we need to talk about blood and lymph, because our topic here is body fluids and its circulation. So in the circulation you find the blood and lymph. Lymph and its components form the lymphatic system, and blood along with its blood, that means circulatory system includes, see, broadly speaking, circulatory system is of we can categorize under two categories. One is blood vascular system, second is the lymphatic system. Under the blood vascular system, we need to discuss the total components of the blood, and we need to talk about the blood vessels and heart and its function, structure of heart and functioning of the heart under the blood vascular system. And lymphatic system, what is lymph, how the lymph formation takes place, where the lymph formation takes place, what is the composition of the lymph. In detail, we need to discuss about the lymphatic system. So this topic this chapter is very important otherwise, because we are trying to understand the mechanism of the circulation here. In today's class, I discussed the only introduction part here. The only thing is, in our next class, we will discuss about what you call the structure of the components of the blood and other details in our next class. So till such time, take care of yourself. All the best.